In addition to the shape builder that we just used, we have another way of combining shapes, and it is called the Pathfinder. So you can find these in the property panel or in an actual Pathfinder panel, which we would get from our window, come on, and Pathfinder. So if you want to do it in a window version, this is what it looks like. All right. By default, when we use one of these effects in Pathfinder, and you see that if I hover over them, we see unite the two objects, knock out the one in front minus the front, show the intersection only where those two shapes overlap, or exclude the intersection. We have divide, trim, merge, crop, outline, and minus back. So in shape modes, we have these right here using the Pathfinder tool. But by default, when we apply these, the original objects are permanently transformed. We cannot go back and change our mind. Actually, we can using a keyboard shortcut, but the default method, the way this tool works, is that you can't go back. So we're going to go to artboard number 9, and we're going to see a door. So if we look at this object compared to the one on the right, we can tell that we're probably merging this circle with the rectangle below and treating it as one object that we can fill with pink. All right, with our selection tool, we're going to drag across the circle and the rectangle. So notice that my marquee is pretty small because I don't want to accidentally get the purple circle or the doorknob down below. So I'm just marking these two to select these two pieces. And I successfully selected the circle and the rectangle. With the shapes selected in the properties panel, we can see Pathfinder is here in the properties, or I also have this window open, but it's the same. So I'm just going to work in the properties panel for now. If we click on the Unite button, watch what happens. They're united and they're permanently combined, and we can't go back and edit. And we can see how this circle was not in the right position to create this. So we're going to do an undo. So Command Z to undo those. We're going to leave those selected. So because they make that permanent change, when you click on the button over here to do that, we need to hold down a keyboard modifier, and it's going to be Option on a Mac or Alt on Windows. You can see in the directions it says Alt-click to create a compound shape. So Alt is Option, they're the same. So with the shape still selected, we're going to press the Option key on our Mac or Alt on Windows, and then we're going to click on the Unite button. So I'm holding Option and I'm clicking on Unite. Notice it did do that, but it also left the two shapes available to be edited individually. So we're going to click away to deselect, and then we're going to double click on this black stroke of the newly combined item to enter into isolation mode. Notice everything else grayed out, and our only two options are the circle or the rectangle that make up the shape. We're going to click on the edge of the circle to select it, and we're going to drag it straight down by the center blue dot until we see the horizontal smart guide. We're also going to hold Shift as we pull down to keep it from moving around. So we're going to come down right there until we get that horizontal guide, and that's going to bring us down perfectly to the middle of the circle so that it blends right in with our rectangle below. All right, to get out of isolation mode, you either double click or hit Escape on your computer keyboard. Now we have this piece that really is a shape, but we still have the two editable shapes underneath that, and we're ready to permanently expand the artwork so that it goes into one piece. So we've clicked away to deselect it, and then we're going to click once again to select both pieces, so our circle and our rectangle. And from here, we're going to expand it. So we have to go into our menu of Object, and then we have to find Expand Appearance. And we click on that. It now treats it as one shape. So in our first step, if we had had this circle down in the right position and we had selected the two and used the Pathfinder of Unite, we would have gotten the same result. But because we didn't have our circle positioned perfectly, we wanted to bring them together, but have each of the two shapes still available to us to edit. And once we were done and happy with what we got, we go up to Object Expand Appearance. So this Pathfinder effect is now permanent and the shapes are a single shape. We're going to change our fill color over here to pink, and we're going to take our stroke down to none. I guess that's not quite the pink the book or the example is either, because it was peach. It wasn't pink. There we go. Now it looks correct. Once we've done that, we're going to marquee drag across all of them. So we select that shape plus the two circles, and we're going to group them together. All right, we now can move on to actually building the trailer.